All right. So I was expecting Emblor to again. Yeah. Also, Restream. I'm using Restream.io, so you can check it out on twitch.tv/the Redstone Scientist. You can check it out at gaming.youtube.com/the Redstone Scientist, and you can also check it out at beam.pro/the Redstone Scientist. And we're keeping an eye on all of these chats.
Yep.
So, yes, let's talk about our different perspectives. Who are we for people who don't know?
Okay, I think you should introduce... Have you already introduced yourself? Because, like, you're kind of the brains behind this operation. Like, you even came up with the title.
Oh, I don't know. I mean...
Because I was trying to make...
came up with the title for Wesley, but, I mean... I scrapped his whole story idea.
Nice.
Anyway, so... My name is the Redstone Scientist. I am a YouTuber, a streamer, a map maker, all that good stuff. And what else? Yes, Beam is better. Probably is. All that good stuff. And yeah, my main project is that I'm working on with Dragon014 and Red's Kingdom is Wesley. You can find a link to the Wesley teaser #1 in my YouTube stream. So also at theredstonescientist.com/Wesley teaser1. And it's a revolutionary new map. It's taking years to make. I'm not going to talk about all the different Wesley things, but recently my YouTube has sort of died down a little bit in order for me to focus more on Wesley. And inversely, the opposite is happening to Emblor.
Inversely. Yeah, I guess you could say that. So, yeah, I'm Emblor, if you don't know. And make sure you hum it, because that's... people pronounce it wrong sometimes. But yeah, basically, I'm a pretty active YouTuber, I could say. Like, 3 videos a week. I try to do
That's
mostly...
very active.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's not my preference. Anyway, I do tons of different videos on my channel. Vlogs, gaming, like, mostly comedy stuff. But I think, like, my most popular projects right now and my favorite, in my opinion, are my Skywars Talk series, where I talk about life stuff with, like, Minecraft Skywars in the background, and then Emblor's Mission, which is basically like a huge storyline that I'm doing in Minecraft Survival.
I didn't know that. I want to see that.
Oh, dude, yeah, definitely check it out. It takes a ton of editing. I have actors for it. Really, really, really cool. So, so yeah, we both have kind of story-based projects that we work on. So that's kind of what we'll be mentioning today. Yeah. So.
If you're just joining us, basically the premise of this is that we talk about whatever, we riff. We're both entertainers and performers, and we're relying on our skills in that to make this go well, because we planned very little about what we're actually going to do.
Yeah, we were kind of just like, so we're going to do this today? All right, yeah, we're doing it today.
Yeah, no, we planned more than that. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about motivation. So the 2 different perspectives we have to offer there is that, obviously, a lot of you probably know, and it came more to the community, you know, our insular community, became more of a topic way back when log.zip, I think that's about when I started to see people really mentioning it more and people coming out about it more, is when log.zip posted this video about he was getting really burnt out on YouTube. Like, he was having a lot of trouble. He was going through some things with it. And it's talking about how hard it is to be a YouTuber and how hard it is to get up every morning and actually make a video, even though it's the best job in the world.
Right, yeah.
And since then, a lot of people have been coming out like, yeah, man, you're so right. Like, people don't appreciate the difficulty that goes into YouTube and all that. And basically, the real story behind that, about the difficulties, lies in motivation. More than anything else, it's about trying to find the right motivation and trying to just get up and do it, even when you don't want to.
Yeah, it's about finding a reason to get up out of bed in the morning. Right.
And so the 2 perspectives, obviously, I'm also a YouTuber, but just more recently, I've been less of a YouTuber and more of a map maker. So our 2 perspectives here, right, is this has to do both with map making and YouTube and all that good stuff. So using Minecraft and using our projects, those of you who are watching probably know something about each of us. either about Emblor's kinds of videos or about Wesley, things like that. So I'm not going to describe too much about what Wesley is. We're not going to talk too much about the details of our projects, but we are going to talk about our experiences with it, what kind of motivation difficulties we've had, and so forth. So with these two different perspectives, different ways that motivation affects our lives, let's start with Emblor. And I guess I'll interject and stuff, but you start out with what you want to talk about with motivation. What do you want to riff on?
Yeah, so I've actually done an episode of this in Skyward Talks, like I said before. And like that's a really difficult series for me to do because like I talk about serious topics, and so I have to make sure that I am well informed about that topic, because you know, if I say something wrong or if I get something incorrect, then I could probably offend some people. So I really have to.
So what do you mean by that? Can you like?
So okay,
that threw me off a little bit. Yeah. What do you mean?
So I recently did a episode on like depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I had to research the different types of depression, and I had to figure out, you know, like what is the experience someone has when they're going through depression, and like what is that like, and like I don't want to basically have someone watch my video and be like, you know, this is not, you don't know what it's like, and all this stuff, because I barely know what it's like, but I want to help people who are going through it, and I want to, you know, that's kind of my goal. But my whole point, like, I seem to be going off on a tangent, but like
that's my point what this show is, man.
Yeah, my point with motivation is that I have to be motivated to keep going even when I find maybe a bump in my process. And in the old days for me, like I had a really bad computer, so I'd get a lot of glitches, and my videos would be ruined, and so I would have to have that motivation to keep going through that and like work around it, and make sure that I can produce something that I will be proud of. And so I've learned that motivation comes from your mindset, and like how you just kind of think about what you're doing at that current moment. Like if you are just like thinking like, oh, this is just a terrible mess and I can't fix it, and there's no way that I can move past that, then you probably aren't going to move past that, because like you're just gonna stay in that zone and that mode of negativity. And if you change it to a positive vibe, like, yes, I can do this, and say that to yourself, then it'll help you get that motivation to keep doing what you want to do. So yeah. That's pretty much my perspective. I can't think of anything else. So
I mean, like, what is the difficulty of specifically with YouTube as opposed to anything else? Why is YouTube? I mean, I guess what somebody from the outside might say is, you know, you're making art, man. Like, this is like the dream job. You've got everything you want. You've got, you can make what you want, and you can not have to worry about what other people say and all that stuff. So why, like, shouldn't you be motivated all the time? Just playing devil's advocate? Like, you know, this is what everyone wants to do. So why aren't you motivated all the time?
There are some bumps that you will hit, like, doing this kind of thing, because like there's not enough hours in the day, especially like I'm a college student and I'm doing YouTube, and so that presents issues of itself. So I have to be able to motivate myself through my work to be able to do YouTube, first of all, and then once I can work on videos, I kind of have to focus my energy and make sure that I don't get lazy and I don't leave stuff out. My motivation comes from the people. Like, I don't want to screw up a video somehow. Maybe like you want everything to be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, but you want it to be as good as you can make it, and so that can keep you from doing things. So that's why you need motivation to keep pushing through and making it into something you can be proud of.
Yeah. I want to add to that, also as a YouTuber, the motivation difficulty for me, the obstacle is that I like to multitask. It's very hard for me to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So also we've got a comment from Jack544. Well, if you want to make money, now isn't exactly the right time. And the Wall Street Journal fiasco and the so-called ad apocalypse. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so apparently ad revenue has been going down, or people
Yes, that I know. But
Yeah.
what's with the Wall Street Journal?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're not really talking though about making money here because neither of us is particularly.
We're not concerned about the money right now. Like, it's not even.
Yeah, neither of us has a lot of. Yeah. So, Gaulieve says, "I'm not multitasking. I'm just playing Overwatch and watching a stream and talking and chatting and." Anyway, yeah, I like multitasking. I feel unproductive when I'm not multitasking.
Right.
And
yeah.
So, to expand upon that, so like, it's hard for me to actually, unless there's a game like with a story or something. Like, I was playing Deus Ex, and that's like an exception because that has a story. But if I'm playing like a puzzle game or something, it's really hard for me to do that and feel productive unless I'm doing something else. Like, and it doesn't even have to be something productive. Like, I will put on, Netflix in the background for while I do anything, because I want to multitask. I want to be watching something and I want to be doing something, or I want to be doing multiple things at once. And otherwise, I just feel like I'm not doing anything. Like, I could be, because I'm worried that I could be using my time for something better. Right. Like we talked about, right? There are only so many hours in the day. I feel like I could be using my time to do something more productive. And so the solution to that in my brain is put everything together. But then we get to the difficulty, which is Civilian is starting to hit on in the YouTube chat, which is there's some things that you just cannot multitask. And those, unfortunately, are the things where your creativity comes out the most because it requires the most amount of thought. So specifically, the YouTube and map making, which are our two things today. Map making is really hard. It's not a mindless thing. Yeah. It's not. It's not like mining in Minecraft, right? It's right. It's you got to do something and you got to be creative about it, and it's very hard to multitask with that. And so, even though doing that is going to be the most productive thing for you on any given day, it still feels like unproductive because you're
doing one thing.
Because you're doing one thing at a time. Exactly.
Yeah.
So with that, the reason why I don't put out more videos, and I really would put out more videos because I have enough content to do it. The issue is I never feel like recording because it's like, I could record, but then I can't watch like Netflix in the background and work on a map and do 27 things at once if I'm recording.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do when I'm recording is play the game and talk.
Yeah, and I can talk about the YouTube perspective on that as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, when I'm rendering a video, like, I've finished editing it, and I'm rendering a video, I feel like, oh, I need to be recording another video right now, but I can't because
really?
I'm
okay, I
don't
have that. I feel like now's my reward time, and when I should be doing something else.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about the next thing for me. Like, that's just, like, I'm always thinking about, like, okay, what do I need to record next? What do I need to edit next? What do I need to get out next? And it's just, like, a constant flow of thought, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that's interesting about that is hold on just 1 second. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's the fact that you're not multitasking when you're doing that feels weird. And I actually made the mistake of I was rendering a video and I was recording another one. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling super productive today. I'm feeling super creative. There's a tutorial that I've been meaning to make for a while on this little furnace contraption. And I've been meaning to do that for a while. So I'm going to do it right now while I'm rendering a video because, all right, now I have time to do it and it seems like the right time. So I recorded it and I got a lot of crap in the comments because it was really laggy because I was exporting a video at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you're a great YouTuber. Just like fix your lag.
I'm trying to multitask though.
Yeah, what do you want from me? Civilians question, which I think is our next topic here, is I'm curious to know how y'all handle staying motivated on your current project and not go off working on another really cool idea instead of continuing on your first and getting it done. The answer is I don't have any other cool ideas. I'm just kidding. So that, I think, is, again, more of a map-making question, particularly. So with Wesley, right? Wesley is a multi-year project.
Right.
And there are a lot of people involved. There are a lot of steps involved. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And how do I say motive? I think what's important is that when you find that one idea that is the best, it's got to be a really strong idea. And I feel so attached to Wesley that, like, it's hard for me to imagine putting my effort into another. And good question. Yes, we're both still in school. We're both in college.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like I said, Wesley, I just feel that passion, that motivation. And, like, something I actually don't understand. Also, I have ADHD and I get really hyper-focused when I start working on something. And one of the... Tell Emblor to keep an eye on his chat, too.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Oh, okay. I'm not, because I assumed that you weren't streaming.
No, the audio... I figured out the audio thing, so it's working now.
Oh, okay. So let me reopen it.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, EJ. TRS is supposed to be watching that.
Sorry.
Not doing his job. What are you doing?
Well, I didn't know. I thought you said... Okay, shut up. Anyway, as I was saying, Dragon works on all these different maps, and, like, he's always posting on Twitter, like, hey, this new map is coming out, or another episode of the Tempest Box, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, shouldn't you be working on Wesley? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, come on, what are you doing? You have Wesley stuff to do. You have all these writing assignments, and you've got all this stuff to do. Also, that's really funny. Hawkminer says, I certainly hope you're streaming, or I'm hallucinating voices.
I'm just hearing voices.
Anyway, like, Dragon, how do you do that? That just doesn't make any sense. And same thing for Phoenix. Something that I was always really surprised about with Phoenix SC is, working on Pokemon Cobalt and Amethyst, and then he's like, hey, so yesterday I made a map, and here it is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep making videos, and how do you keep...
And he does concepts, too. He does concepts,
like
in the middle.
How do you do things that are not directly related to Pokemon Cobalt and Amethyst?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Dragon. How do you not work on Wesley? Now, it's sort of a dichotomy. It's a paradox, because there's also what Civilian said, like, how do you stay focused on one thing and not everything else? Mm-hmm. But then also, how do you not stay focused on one thing? Like, you understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
These two things.
No, see, I've struggled with that so much, right? I've struggled with focusing on one thing at a time. For a while.
I just want to interrupt real quick. Galubian, whatever. Phoenix is also a full-time law student.
Yeah. So he doesn't work all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's not like that. He doesn't have time for that. So how he does all that, it just amazes me.
Well, he's a magician.
Yeah. Really, honestly. But so I have so many different series that I'm working on. There's like I can't even count how many there are, right? But
and
what I was struggling with, yeah, right. But now, anyway, I struggled so hard focusing each week on, okay, what am I gonna do this week? I would like start working on something and then go to another, and then maybe go to another, and be like, okay, maybe I can finish this week. So what I'm doing basically is just setting small goals for myself, like, okay, this week I'm going to work on this series and this series, and that's it. And then boom, next week, all right, now I'll move to this, right? And you just keep it's like a schedule kind of thing. And so what you want to do, and what you probably need to do if you're struggling to stay focused on specific things, is just like lay out maybe a little schedule on, like, keep track of how much time you want to spend on your current project, and maybe...
Yeah, I can't
you
do
know.
that.
Yeah. I mean,
I
that's
can't
really
do
hard
that
with
because,
Wesley.
Right. So, well, hold on. You finish your thought because I want to bring up another
No.
topic.
I'm good. That's it.
Okay. To be honest, I spend most of my free time working on Yawk. I forgot how to say it. I did the voiceover. I forgot.
Yeah.
And somehow I had the time to put out 9 videos, and even now I'm amazed at how I managed that. Yeah, it's sometimes you just have this boost of creativity, and it's hard to stop. Green Cat, I'll answer your question in a second.
Yeah.
But first, I want to bring up another topic I wanted to get to, which I've been talking about a lot recently, which is this weird feeling that is just illogical, an illogical feeling that is, I have so many things to do, but I also have nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's really hard to describe. And so I'll give you an example. So I've opened up the to-do list in the Wesley Discord. So let me just read a few things here. So like, all right, I'm feeling motivated. I'm ready to work on Wesley. Here we go. I've got free time. Let's do it now. Okay, so I look at the to-do list. So here's the first thing I ever wrote on there. Optimize generator for each tag, not just the whole command. Again, no context, doesn't really make sense, but that's not our priority. We don't really need that right now. So maybe I should do something that's more important. Okay, next thing, fix the 180 rule in the prologue. That's a cinematographic technique that I messed up in the cutscene. But that's such a minor thing. I could do that later. What's more important? Then we have all these writing things that's hard to do because we're still working on earlier acts. Remap UV on bent limbs so that each arm is using the correct texture instead of the same one. Yeah, but we can get by without that. Do a video on scene planning. Okay, well, in order to do that, I need to figure out how to do scene planning first. Re-record certain things. Look into eye motions for NPCs. I mean, all of these things, right, they're big jobs, but they're all, like, when I sit down and I open that to-do list, it's like, I have nothing to do. I can't figure out how to describe it to you.
Yeah.
Am I making any sense?
You are making absolute sense, yeah. So, like, a lot of times, like, I come back from class, I sit down on my computer, and I literally just stare at the screen because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, where do I gonna?
So many things to do.
Exactly.
Right? It's sort of feeling like, where do I start? But even then, if I'm like, okay, I'll start at the top, then I'm like, nah, how about number 2?
No, skip over. Yeah, exactly.
How about number 3? Right, and then it's like you do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's infuriating, but it's so hard to not do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you look in the fridge and you don't see any food, even when it's full. That's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. You look in a fridge full of food,
that's the perfect
and there's nothing to eat.
Analogy. Oh my god.
That's perfect. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what it is. So, also, I want to reference just very quickly Green Cat person's question.
It's just
Do you
Green
guys have
Cat.
do you have any preferred way of keeping a schedule, like an app or something of the sort? Well, as we speak, Blue Code is working on a Discord bot for us in the Wesley server to help us schedule things cross time zones.
That's good.
And I can let you know more about that later. I use an app called Time Buddy on my phone, which, like, you can see, like, how all the time zones line up, and that's really useful. But for scheduling stuff, always just put it in my calendar. Calendar app. Like, I need to put everything on my calendar.
I do that with, like, collabs and recordings so that I make it on time to those. But I'm more of an old-fashioned guy, and I have, like, literally a notepad next to my computer, like, of like things I have to do. So, oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, the nerd without the schedule bot, whatever. Anyway.
Right.
So yeah, so I basically have, like, okay, so it's like combined YouTube and class stuff. So it's basically like once I cross out my class stuff, then I move on to my YouTube stuff. So yeah, that's true. I actually do use WordPad on occasion, just to I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, just small reminders, just like poking at you, like, hey, you need to get this done, and just yeah, it's fun to cross things off, especially. That's a really good thing for me, is when I can cross something off that I've finished.
I, for one, store my to-do lists in advancement trees. Is that a joke?
What?
Is that a joke, or are you being serious?
Advancement trees?
Anyway, because I feel like you're making a 1.12 joke, but at the same time, that could definitely be.
My mom just joined the stream. All right.
Hey, well,
Hey, Mom.
Anyway, so back to, I want to go back to what Jack was talking about with like these creative bursts. Sometimes I get these creative bursts, right? And then I'm like, okay, it's time to work on Wesley. But sometimes those creative bursts often come when I'm sitting in a class and I'm really bored.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yay! Now I'm feeling motivated. I can do stuff. And then I get out of class. I'm like, yay! It's time to do stuff. So I walk back to my dorm, and I get back to my dorm. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, that is me, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's something.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to work on Wesley. Time to work on Wesley. And for a long time, I was stuck because of an issue with Mr. Grotto's armor stand generator, and now I have a new laptop, and that works fine with it. And it's like, but it's harder to finish things that are that have been unfinished for a long time, because it's like, what's another couple months of unfinished work, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's been sitting unfinished so long, and we've all survived. So, what's in a little bit longer? I feel that it's like I spend all my creative juices on planning to do stuff and then never actually do it because I've expended my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how much creative juices it takes to plan something. Like, I phrased that poorly, but to plan to do something. Again, returning to Wesley, right? Something I was talking about earlier today is that it's really easy to cross stuff off your to-do list that is something that's procedural, something that does not involve creativity or choices.
Right.
So, if you say, dig a 100 block long tunnel, I'm like, yeah, I'm all over it, and I can multitask, right? Like we talked about.
Right.
And it's like, and so I feel better about that because, like we said, it sometimes feels bad if you're not multitasking, especially in this day and age, right? And yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it. Maybe a better way of phrasing it to be, I expend all my hype.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, the point is that, what was I talking about, man?
My mom says make a list and prioritize. Yeah, that's important. That's
right.
Important.
So like I was talking about with the Wesley list, right? Is making a list. Okay, done. We've got a list. Prioritize.
Yeah, I gotta sort it, dude.
Okay, we don't definitely have like a priority list, but it's unspoken.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, what's my priority? Like, let me start prioritizing.
Yeah. It does help to lay that out too.
Exactly, but then it's like I can't pick. You just end up doing nothing, like we said. And anyway, back to Wesley. I was saying about, okay, dig a 100 block tunnel. Okay, done. And then it's like, okay, so for example, the things in Wesley that go on the to-do list, like write out the lines and send the lines for Mary to the actress playing Mary. Okay, that's easy. I can do that because we already have a script. All I have to do is go through. I got to make some edits and then things like that.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I don't have to entirely think about it. I can watch something in the background, or I can put on music or something. It doesn't take all of my concentration.
Right.
And it's procedural. So anybody could do it if they knew the rules. But then when it comes to something that is more abstract, it's a lot harder to do. So for example, on the Wesley to-do list, it says, look into my eyes, but it's just a joke. It's supposed to be look into making eyes for the NPCs, moving eyes and eyelids. And it's like, okay, I know in my head how I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to put a model on the head of the armor stand. We're going to add an armor stand to every NPC. And we're going to have these number of models. I'm going to have a folder for textures. Okay, so I know what I'm going to do. But if you asked me, like, I don't know exactly where to start. And those are the things that are a lot harder to do. Things where you don't know where to start, but like you know what to do. So, what do I do first? First of all, I need to create the eyes in like a paint program or something. Like, okay, where am I going to do that? What program am I going to use? How am I going to do that? Am I going to get someone else to do that? And then, am I going to just use a different texture for each of the eyes? Am I going to, these are creative choices that you have. And when you have these creative choices, it becomes much more of a process rather than, execute the following functions. It's the things that a computer can't do on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that are harder to get done.
Right. Yeah, I definitely need to kind of label out what needs to be like first and second, because like you're already thinking about so much, so like trying to keep those priorities in your mind is like really hard. So I think it's better when you kind of lay it out for yourself so you can see what you need to do. My mom is throwing shade at me hardcore right now. But anyway, just make sure you have all your ducks in a row and just follow through with everything you need to do.
Yeah. Okay. Your mom knows what I was thinking. I was worried about that too. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
What?
It was just a Freudian slip that I made earlier. So Civilian says, I'd almost consider the more working despite a lack of motivation. I don't understand the message. I don't understand the sentence. Motivation to me involves wanting to do the thing. One of the worst parts is wanting to do the thing and being able to do it. But the moment you start, you just wander off, and next thing you know, you're watching TRS and Emblor in a podcast. That was in response to Sierra Wild's. Yeah, I read Sierra Wild's message too. I don't know. Anyway, Jack, building on that, like I said, when you have the ability to get hyper-focused like I do with ADHD, when you're passionate about something, you can get hyper-focused on it. But my issue is I've got all this focus, and I'm hyper-focused, and I'm ready to just zip like a bullet. And I don't get sidetracked. We're reiterating what we said before, which is you look at your to-do list and there's nothing to do.
Right.
And exactly Hawk Miner's, what do you call it? I guess an analogy, a metaphor, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a perfect analogy. You've got a fridge full of food and you open the fridge and there's nothing to eat.
Dude, I do that all the time.
But that's exactly what it's like. And that's exactly my problem with Wesley. And, I'm not trying to put anybody else on the team down, but, like, I do 90% of I'll rephrase that to be nicer. I do basically all of the management of Wesley.
Right.
I organize the people. I delegate tasks. I tell people what needs to be done.
And you're running auditions, too, which is, like,
right.
also a huge role.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do it right now just because it's going to be bragging, but like we have our credits list where we have a spreadsheet where we keep credits by name. So we have people's names, what they did, and then any special notes. And like I have like 40,000 titles in my thing
right.
On the spreadsheet. Yeah. It's this food metaphor is really infuriating. And I don't know how to combat it. I don't know what to do in that situation. Like when you're at the fridge, right, and there's full of food and there's nothing to eat, what do, right? If you have to eat something, what do? Well, the answer is just pick something. It doesn't matter. Just pick something to eat. It'll be fine. But that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, I'm making this a lot more important than it really is when in regards to food. But, yeah, you get a metaphor! You get a metaphor!
But yeah, a lot of times that's actually what I do. Like, I'll just if I'm so, like, torn between, like, 5 different things that I want to do, honestly, I'll just be like, you know what? This is really what I want to work on right now. So maybe I'll just like go for that. And if you can't, then just like maybe you do that. Pick something random, work on it, and if you're not getting anywhere, then yeah, move on to something else.
Right.
But try and stay focused on what you want to do.
That goes along with the idea we were saying earlier about whatever it was I was gonna say that I forgot. That's what it goes along with.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. No, what were you just saying about? By the way, if you're just joining us, the premise of this show is that we plan extremely little and we just rely on our skills as performers and entertainers to make this thing not be a total disaster.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, you most of the time you just pick something that you want to do or just something that you think you might be productive on, and if you don't get anywhere, then time to move on with something else, maybe.
I think that's my problem, is that if I'm not getting anywhere,
you want to just quit and just kind of...
I just want to quit, yeah, and just chill.
Now, in your case, that's a huge project, so there's nothing you can really move on to. Because, like, that's
because there's so many different areas, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see your point.
I mean, like I said, there are all these different areas, but I'm like, I could be working on something else.
Right. Because there's, like,
I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say it goes along with the idea of multitasking, that it feels wrong if you're not multitasking. It feels like,
right.
Am I doing the best I can with the time I have?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like, the premise of Wesley. Am I doing the best I can with the time I have? Ironically.
Mm.
Yeah, so let's like be really concrete here, okay?
Yeah, because we're kind of bouncing.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do after this stream?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. What are you gonna do after the stream? Really
call my mom, since she wants to talk to me.
Let me rephrase that. What are you gonna do? What is the next thing you're gonna do related to, like, Minecraft work?
Okay. If I can see, this is it's really weird, but I base it on what happens. So I keep checking my availability of my actors because I desperately need them for the beginning of my next episode of Mblor's Mission. So if they're available, I'll try to record that. If not, I'll make some more progress on my next Evotech SMP episode because there's a lot happening with that as well. And if possible, I'll try to slip a collab in there because I think there's something.
So
yeah,
that's our problem, right? So let's start over.
Multiple things happening there.
So let's start over. What is one thing, the first thing that you're gonna do?
Probably record Evotech SMP. Since that's the first available thing, that's probably going to be...
Okay, so what does that consist of? What are you going to do to begin that? You're going to open up Minecraft, get out your mic, and record? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, because the part that I want to record is just solo. So it's just me, a mic, and the recorder.
Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to do.
Because it's the simplest thing, probably.
And you're going to get that done?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I gonna do? What is the first thing I'm gonna do with Wesley? This is really hard for me. This is really hard for me.
Yeah.
Other than the bot control stuff, testing that out, because that's just like the thing that takes like 2 minutes. Other than that, I don't know.
Just a side note, I realized that I got something done today, so I'm crossing it off.
What did you get done?
I am now a music major, essentially. Like,
oh,
officially.
Great. I'm going to... This is, like, you have no idea how hard this is for me. I'm looking at the to-do list here, and nothing looks good. I'm not hungry for any of these things. I am going to, unfortunately, it really looks like the only thing I can do right now. I'm going to start, okay, I need to be more specific than that. I was going to say I'm going to start texturing eyes, but I'm need to be more specific. What program am I going to use, and what am I going to make? Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is make wide open eyes, just like we have now, so that then I can line them up and make sure that they're all flush with the face and everything. And what program am I going to use to do it? Isn't Pixlr a good program? Like, I don't have, like, Photoshop anymore.
Right.
Because Adobe is selfish. I guess
Okay.
the Pixlr editor, pixlr.com/editor.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've used that before.
Pixel editing.
Paint.net, that's free.
Oh, is Paint? I haven't used that.
Okay. That's what J Ragoon uses.
J Ragoon uses that for what?
For
I don't think that's exactly what it's called, because Paint.net is Warren Paint and Color Company, involving new coding.
No, but you have to Google it. It's not the site. That's not the site that you go to, but that's what the program is literally called.
Get Paint?
Yeah, I think it's that.
Download.
I'm pretty sure it's something like that. Yeah.
That's just for Windows, though.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have
I
Windows,
guess I can do it. I can do it on my Windows machine. Whoa, Nightbot is freaking out.
All right. I have no idea what just happened.
Nightbot. Whoa, sorry. What happened? View deleted message. View deleted message. View deleted.
Yeah, what do you do?
I confirmed Paint.net.
Maybe saying Paint.net was kind of timed out.
Dang. Nightbot, calm down. Anyway, I don't like GIMP. I'll be honest. I tried GIMP. I hate it. It's so slow. It's such a bad user interface. Like, I hate it.
Right.
Anyway, I'm going to open up pixlr.com/editor, and I'm going to make first set of eyes just like the ones that Wesley's dad has in order to properly position it. That is the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, so we both have something to do.
Right.
Something specific. And now we can't change that. We can't be like, maybe I'll do something else.
Right.
That's our first task when it comes to Minecraft. That's our next thing. Okay? Motivation runs out sometimes. So I understand that a sliver of motivation can be there. But I feel like people have different time lengths of motivation, if that makes any sense. Yeah, absolutely. And, motivation goes along with, creative motivation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it really, like I said before, it's all about like the mindset. So if you start to feel yourself kind of being more negative to yourself, you just gotta keep, I say this in quotations, but like lying to yourself that you can do it, because eventually you will do it, so it won't be a lie. It won't be a lie if you do it, but like you're not there yet, so technically you are. I don't know, but yeah, just tell yourself like, do this, and you basically will, and it's the simplest thing ever, but it's also the hardest thing ever at the same time.
It's in the fridge.
What's in the fridge?
So yeah. So if we leave you with anything today, I would say leave with that analogy. And hold on, let's address this for a second. This is not lying to yourself. The idea,
which is why I use the quotes, because it's not exactly lying.
It's sort of lying to yourself. Look, fake it till you make it is it's not what everyone wants to hear, but it's what you do. I mean, that's just what you do. That's how everyone does it. I mean, that's not like just a strategy. That's what everyone does. Because no one is completely happy with where they are at the beginning. I had trouble with motivation for a long time. Then 3 weeks ago, and I got diagnosed with ADHD. Some pills later. Now, if I try to work, there's a better chance of me doing it. Excellent. That sounds like me years ago. Motivation will only get you so far. Discipline and a routine will get you where you want to be. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we haven't mentioned. Sorry, Civilian. Nightbot is really.
I actually made a video on this like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, if you routine, in my video I say routine can be good or bad.
Hold on. Is the stream down?
Oh, rip. Mine's fine.
Mine's fine.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay, back, he says. All right.
All right, sorry.
But yeah, so it can be a good or bad thing. Like, if it's by bad routine, I mean, like, you just keep doing stuff that doesn't feel productive and isn't really accomplishing anything. And it can be a good routine when you get yourself moving, you get yourself motivated, and you just keep doing things that you think will accomplish what you want to do.
Right. And so also Searwald, so it's not really lying to yourself all the time. It's like the idea that if you smile, you'll feel happier. You're not smiling for the purpose of showing other people that you're happy and everyone will know how great you are and how happy you are and people will like you more. That's not why you're smiling. You're smiling not because you're pretending, but you're smiling because the physical act of smiling, the muscular motion involved in smiling, releases dopamine in your system.
That's some psychology for you
to
guys,
be happier.
By the way. Psychology 101 right there.
Yeah, and causes you to be happier. And the same thing with fake it till you make it. You know, eventually you are it. When you start faking it, you're not faking it because you're pretending and you want everyone to see how great you are and because you'll be more successful and everything. You're faking it because that's how it starts. And then eventually you will be it. It's not lying to yourself. Or, sorry, it's lying to yourself, but it's not pretending. There's a difference. There's a difference between pretending for other people and helping yourself. So I think that is sort of our takeaway here.
Can I throw in an Earl Nightingale quote? I don't know if you guys have ever heard The Strangest Secret, and my fans probably know that I'm obsessed with his speech. But his quote is, "We become what we think about." So just think about like how successful you want to be and where you want to go with what you're doing, and you will get there. And that's how you're quote unquote lying to yourself.
Right. And I think there's another word other than lying.
There's a better word than lying.
Because lying has a negative connotation, and it's not a negative thing. Just think about pineapples. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
become pineapples.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was interesting. We will be. It seems like people enjoyed this, so we will be back at some point with another episode. I'm going to be posting this on my main channel, I think.
Yeah, I think I will too.
Back. All right, cool. So we'll be back with another episode at some point with a topic probably about command block changes, how we feel about Minecraft changes. Because Emblor does not know a lot about that. And I'm going to take him through it. We're going to see what he has to say. We're going to see what he thinks about how Mojang is doing. We can talk about this forever. You know, there's motivation. You know, there's so much stuff to talk about. But we don't want to we don't want to make it too long. If you guys want to continue this conversation, you can join my Discord server, discord.me/theredstonescientist. Emblor is on there as well, and he'll be happy to join you. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This has been RiffRap. I'm TRS.
And I'm Emblor.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Bye.